Good evening, students. Today I shall be beginning the poem The Lake Isle of Ensfree, written by William William Butler. Okay, and this William Butler, and this poem is well-known poem which explores the poet's longing for the peace. He wanted to have a solitude. So his longing for the solitude is the poem that indicates here, and the tranquility of Ensfree, a place where he spent a lot of time as a boy. And this poem is in lyric form. Lyric means in a song form. Okay, this is what the poem is about. That is, the poet is longing for the for peace, for tranquility. Okay, and it is he has experienced, in fact he has told that it's a picture of an lake, Isle Ensfree, Lake Isle Ensfree, and which is not only a place of beauty, it's not only a place of beauty and peace, but also a state of mind. That is, a state of mind is reflected in this poem. Okay, the poet has spent the most of part of his boyhood in Ensfree, and he finds his present solitude very boring. So he contrasted with the peace of the resort at the lake of an Isle, where he decided to go back and relive that experience of abundant peace and charm. He thinks that Lake Isle of Ensfree is most suitable place to lead a carefree, placid, and self-dependent life over there. And that's why the poet wants to go there, close to the nature, we can say, close to nature. He want to spend his time there. Now if we talk about the first paragraph is, I will arise and go now. The poet says, I will arise and go now and go to Ensfree. Arise means get up. Okay, and go now, that is, he wants to go and go to Ensfree. Ensfree he want to go. And a small cabin built there, a clay and wattle made. Wattles means, and the poet says he shall be building up a small cabin over there of a clay and of fences. 9 bean rows will I have there, a hive for the honeybee. And then he says 9 bean rows, that is, he shall be growing there, he shall be growing lines of 9 beans, and there he shall have that honeybee and a place for the honeybee. Hive means honeycomb. Okay, where the honeys they are kept for the honeybee. And he says, and live alone in a bee loud clay. And he says he shall be living there surrounded with the bees. Okay, surrounded with bee. Okay, this is how he shall be spending his time over there. The poet says, I will rise up, I will go to the Ensfree, and a small cabin I shall build over there of a clay with the fences, and there I shall grow the honeys, and I shall live alone there with the bees surrounded by him. Okay, now if I ask you the question from here, first question could be, write about any 2 things the poet wants to do there. Poet wants to make the cabin as well as a clay wattles. Okay, second question could be, why does the poet miss the place? He misses the place because he desires the peace and tranquility. He wanted to have a peace. That at the beginning I told you he wanted to have a peace. Where does the poet want to spend his best time? He wanted to spend his best time at Ennsfree. Okay. And next question, does the poet wish to live in the company of close friends or objects? No, he want to live in a company of bees. Okay, this is what the first stanza is. Second is now, and I shall have some peace there, for peace comes dropping slow, dropping from the vales of the morning to where the cricket sings. Cricket is a kind of animal which continuously keep on. It's a insect. Okay, it's an insect which keeps on making a noise, sings. The midnight of all the glimmers means shine. Okay, and a noon, a purple glow, and then he describes the description of a noon, and evening full of linnet's wing, and the insects again will be there in the evening that he would be surrounded by. And I shall have some peace there. He says he would be having tranquility, he would be having solitude there. For peace comes dropping slow. Although it would be very slow, it would be very that is enjoyable for her. Dropping for the veils of the morning. Veils, what is veil? घूंघट कहते हैं ना, कवरेज. ठीक है, ही सेज इट वुड बी लाइक अ कवरेज फ्रॉम मॉर्निंग, एंड देन देयर वुड बी अ साउंड ऑफ इंसेक्ट्स कॉल्ड क्रिकेट, and the midnight all the glimmer, and that would be shining, that would be attracted by those the insect which okay, light insects that would be there. And evening full of linnet's wings, and in the evening they would be having the wings of these animals, these insects. Okay, next is the poet says, I will arise and go now for always night and day. The questions from this extract is, name the poet. Poet's name is William Butler, and which place is he referring to the above lines? He is referring to the at the beginning I told you he is referring to the Lake Isle Ennsfree. Then what is the poet looking for? He is looking for peace and quiet. He is looking for. How will be the morning on the island? It will be full of the songs of a cricket, insects. Okay, then next stanza we'll move. Next stanza is I will arise and go now. Now the poet says he will be arising and he will be moving ahead. Okay, he will be arising and he will be moving ahead. Okay, I will arise and go now, for always night and day I hear the lake water lapping with the low sounds of shore. While I stand on the roadways or on the pavements grey, I hear it in the deep heart's core. Now he says, I will arise and go now, that he is going to arise and go away for always, the nights and day, and there would be always night and day. I hear the sound of the water there, low sounds of shore, and while I stand on roadways, on the pavements, on the side, he says, I hear it deep in hearts of core, and that noise is, that sound is still in the depth of my heart. Okay, and the questions on basis of this is, who is I in the above line? It is poet. Okay, and night and day, what does the other hear? Night and day, they hear the lapping of the low sounds of the lake. How will he visit to an Ennsfree impact poet? It is lasting impression. Okay, it is lasting impression. Okay, which he could not ever forget into the heart. Next is, where does the poet want to go? He wants to go to the same lake of an Isle Ennsfree. Okay, this is what the answer is. Now we have some literary devices also here, like we have an assonance, sound of O, O, O. that is go, now go, it's an assonant sound. Then we have the anaphora, the beginning of two lines with I, and it's already told that it's a lyric, the poem is a lyric. Okay, these are some of the literary devices here. Okay, thank you students. I hope you understand. I'll be giving the question on basis of this extracts.